At the beginning of the drama, we are introduced to the main female lead, Yeon, who has been taking care of both herself and her younger brother ever since their parents passed away. She works hard every day just to support the two of them. But one day, her life completely falls apart when she visits the hospital and learns that she has a deadly brain tumor. The doctor tells her that she has only 3 months left to live. He also says that if she agrees to surgery, she might be able to survive for another year. However, Yeon refuses because she simply cannot afford the expensive operation. Before leaving, Yeon reminds the doctor to submit his manuscript on time. We then learn that besides being a doctor, he is also a writer, and Yeon works as an editor for him. As Yeon leaves the hospital, she accidentally bumps into a handsome man named Kim. In her mind, she can't help thinking about how handsome he is. To her surprise, Kim hears her thoughts and casually says, "I know I'm handsome, but what am I supposed to do about it? I'm very busy right now." At that moment, we realize that he is no ordinary human. Then we learn the truth about Kim. He is a supernatural being whose job is to bring destruction into the world. Every disaster, tragedy, and destructive event that happens is connected to him. Now we see Kim standing beside a hospital bed, quietly waiting for someone. At the same time, the news reports that a criminal has stabbed 7 people before trying to take his own life. Soon, all 7 victims, along with the criminal, are brought to the same hospital. It turns out that this criminal is exactly the person Kim has been waiting for. He walks over to the injured man and instantly heals all of his wounds with his supernatural power. Then he coldly tells him that destroying the world is not the criminal's job. That responsibility belongs only to him. In the next scene, Kim goes to the hospital rooftop to meet the leader of the gods. She explains that she sees the world as her own garden, while she is the gardener who spends so much time taking care of it that she barely has time for herself. We also learn that today is Kim's birthday. Instead of causing destruction, the leader tells him that just for today, he should grant one human's wish as a birthday gift. Meanwhile, Yeon is on her way from the hospital to her office when she suddenly discovers that her boyfriend has been cheating on her for a long time. The shocking truth completely breaks her heart. Because of everything that has happened, she arrives at work very late. Her boss immediately starts scolding her, and after seeing his rude attitude, she decides to leave the office without saying anything. Then we see Yeon riding a bus back home when she notices a young man secretly taking pictures of her. Furious, she gets off the bus and chases him, demanding that he delete the photos. Kim happens to witness the entire incident. Using his magical powers, he suddenly opens a hole beneath the man's feet, causing him to fall straight into it. Later that night, Yeon receives a call from her younger brother. He desperately asks her for money, explaining that if he cannot repay it immediately, he may end up at the police station. Already overwhelmed with problems, Yeon silently returns home. Now we learn that today is actually Yeon's birthday as well. However, instead of celebrating, she sits alone in her room feeling completely hopeless. Looking at a photo of her late parents, she quietly says that ever since they died, she has forgotten how to cry. She believes that all the pain she has kept buried inside her heart may have been the reason she developed the brain tumor. Just then, she receives another phone call. The caller informs her that she still hasn't paid off her education loan and demands that she repay it as soon as possible. After suffering through one terrible event after another in a single day, Yeon finally reaches her breaking point. She looks up at the sky and, in complete despair, shouts that she wishes the entire world would be destroyed. At that exact moment, Kim hears her wish. Since he has been told to grant one person's wish on his birthday, he decides that Yeon's wish will be the one he fulfills. Later that night, while Yeon is asleep, someone suddenly knocks on her door. She opens it and is shocked to find Kim standing outside. Calmly, he tells her to let him in because she already invited him. Yeon is completely confused, wondering when she could have possibly invited him. Ignoring her confusion, Kim walks into her apartment without waiting for permission. Yeon immediately asks who he is and why he has come to her house. Kim simply replies that he is here to grant her wish. After all, she wished for the destruction of the entire world. Terrified, Yeon quickly tries to call the police, but she realizes that her phone has suddenly stopped working. She then rushes toward the door to escape, but the door mysteriously refuses to open. Kim calmly tells her that she is going to die in just a few months anyway. So before that happens, she should confirm her wish, and once she does, he will make sure it comes true. Yeon asks him, "How do you know that I'm going to die in just a few months? Are you a doctor?" Kim calmly replies that no doctor can predict someone's exact date of death. Hearing that, Yeon convinces herself that everything she has been seeing must be a hallucination caused by her brain tumor. When Kim hears her thoughts, he simply sits there and laughs. Then we see the two of them in a completely different place. Confused, Yeon asks where they are. Kim tells her that she is now at his home. Hearing this, Yeon immediately panics and asks if he has kidnapped her. Kim explains that he didn't kidnap her at all. Instead, he entered her dream and brought her there. Yeon is even more confused and asks if that means she is actually dreaming right now. Unable to believe him, she tries to run away. However, the moment she opens the door, she is shocked to discover that they are standing high above the sky. Before she can even react, Kim teleports both of them to a beautiful beach. Once they arrive, he asks her once again to confirm her wish to destroy the world. But Yeon quickly tells him that she never meant those words seriously. Kim, however, replies that he took her wish very seriously. After all, she invited the world's destroyer into her home, so she will have to face the consequences. The next morning, Yeon wakes up and convinces herself that everything was just a strange dream. But from that day on, no matter where she goes, Kim keeps following her everywhere. He repeatedly asks her to confirm her wish. He even follows her all the way to her office, making Yeon more and more annoyed. Finally, she leaves the office and calls one of her friends. While talking on the phone, she complains that this strange man keeps following her everywhere and refuses to leave her alone. As she continues crossing the street, the pain from her brain tumor suddenly becomes unbearable. She collapses right in the middle of the road. At that exact moment, a speeding truck is heading straight toward her. Looking at the truck, Yeon believes that this is going to be the last day of her life, but suddenly time itself comes to a complete stop. Everything around her freezes, and we see Kim slowly walking toward her. Standing in front of Yeon, he gives her two choices. The first option is to stay where she is and die beneath the truck. The second option is to take his hand. If she does, he will save her life today. However, from that moment on, she will have to follow his rules. Wanting to live, Yeon reaches out and grabs his hand. Instantly, Kim pulls her away from the truck, saving her life. He then reverses time itself, making everyone forget that the accident ever happened. Afterward, the two of them go to a restaurant. Even after everything she has witnessed, Yeon still refuses to believe that any of it is real. She keeps insisting that she must be hallucinating because of her illness. Kim sighs and tells her that he literally took her into the sky, stopped time, and saved her life. If she still doesn't believe him after all that, then he doesn't know what else he can do. To prove his powers, he suddenly shuts off the electricity across the entire city. Even then, Yeon says that maybe it was just a normal power outage. Without saying another word, Kim turns off every mobile phone inside the restaurant at the same time. But Yeon still isn't convinced. Finally, Kim decides to leave no room for doubt. He fills the night sky with countless meteors, making them rain down across the city. Seeing such an impossible sight, Yeon finally realizes that everything is real. She quickly tells him that she believes him now and begs him to stop before something terrible happens. Hearing those words, Kim restores everything back to normal. A little later, he tells Yeon that he has somewhere important to be and gets up to leave. But before he can walk away, Yeon suddenly grabs his hand and asks him to stay with her a little longer. Smiling, Kim points out that just a short while ago she couldn't wait to get away from him, but now she doesn't even want to let go of his hand. He then ties a red string around her wrist and explains that she must recharge it by holding his hand regularly. If she fails to do that, the pain from her brain tumor will return. After saying that, Kim leaves the restaurant. A few moments later, the truck driver who almost hit Yeon walks into the same restaurant. Yeon immediately asks him about the accident, but the driver has absolutely no memory of it. This makes Yeon wonder if maybe everything really was just a hallucination after all. Meanwhile, Kim visits another man who is trying to take his own life. The moment the man sees him, he falls to his knees and begs for death, saying that he can no longer bear the suffering because he constantly hears the screams of countless people. To him, dying would be far better than living with this pain. However, Kim coldly tells him that the voices are the punishment for the sins he committed in the past, and he will have to live with that punishment for the rest of his life. The man then asks Kim who he really is. Kim calmly replies that he is the last person in this world. His mysterious answer leaves the man speechless. Meanwhile, Yeon goes to meet her best friend Jina. As soon as she arrives, she notices that Jina looks completely depressed. Worried, Yeon asks what happened. Jina sadly explains that all of her writing has been deleted because of the massive power outage that happened earlier. The sudden blackout destroyed every file on her computer. Hearing this, Yeon immediately remembers that the citywide blackout was caused by Kim himself. Yeon tries to encourage her friend, telling her that she can still rewrite everything from the beginning. But Jina has already lost all hope. She says that there is no point in writing anymore because nobody likes her novels anyway. According to everyone, she isn't good at writing romance stories. She even jokes that ever since she started writing novels, the number of readers has only continued to drop. Even so, Yeon refuses to let her give up. After encouraging her for a long time, she finally convinces Jina to start writing again. A little later, Yeon opens Jina's refrigerator and realizes there is almost nothing to eat. Feeling sorry for her friend, she decides to go to the market and buy some groceries. While shopping, Yeon receives another call from her doctor. The doctor warns her that as time passes, the pain from her brain tumor will only become worse. He tells her not to delay making an important decision about her treatment. After hanging up, Yeon silently looks at the red string tied around her wrist, remembering everything Kim told her. Then we see Kim meeting the leader of the gods once again. We will later learn why she always stays inside the hospital. Kim asks whether she is angry with him. He reminds her that she was the one who told him to grant a human's wish. But instead of wishing for happiness, the human he met wished for the entire world to be destroyed. The leader calmly replies that if the world is destroyed, neither of them will have any purpose left. That is why she will do everything she can to save it. Kim simply smiles and says that they will find out what happens when the time finally comes. Now we see Yeon's ex-boyfriend causing a scene at her office. He loudly tells everyone that he was once a peaceful married man, but Yeon seduced him and turned him into her boyfriend. He even claims that someone like her doesn't deserve to work there. Just then, Yeon arrives and asks him to step outside so they can talk privately. However, he refuses to leave. Instead, he angrily asks what she said to his wife because she is now demanding a divorce. Yeon honestly tells him that she informed his wife that she never knew he was already married and that he had been lying to her from the very beginning. Instead of feeling guilty, the man insults Yeon by reminding her that she is an orphan and says that he never expected anything better from someone like her. Those cruel words deeply hurt Yeon. For a brief moment, she remembers Kim's offer to destroy the world, but after calming herself down, she decides that someone this pathetic isn't worth wasting such a wish on. A few moments later, the man's wife suddenly arrives at the office. She grabs him, beats him in front of everyone, and drags him out of the building, leaving everyone shocked. Even though the situation is resolved, Yeon is still emotionally exhausted. She decides to resign from her job and hands her resignation letter to one of her coworkers. However, her coworker refuses to accept it because their boss is currently away on his honeymoon. She tells Yeon that she'll have to wait until the boss returns before her resignation can be processed. We then learn that the boss is happily enjoying his honeymoon with his wife. Seeing his social media post, Yeon simply leaves a like before putting her phone away. Later, while trying to cross the street, Yeon suddenly remembers the terrifying truck accident from before. The memory makes her freeze in fear. Just then, Kim suddenly appears beside her. Without saying a word, he takes her hand and safely walks her across the street. For a moment, Yeon feels relieved. She thinks to herself that at least there is someone in this world standing beside her. But Kim immediately hears her thoughts and tells her not to misunderstand. He says that he will never truly stay by her side. Yeon argues that maybe she can survive for the next 3 months without making any wish. Then she can simply die naturally and everything will be over. Kim immediately rejects that idea. He warns her that if she dies without making her final wish, then the person she loves the most will die together with her. However, he offers to give her one more chance to think carefully. In the next moment, he takes Yeon back to the exact moment of the truck accident. Standing in the frozen scene once again, Kim tells her to choose carefully. She can either take his hand and continue living, or let the truck hit her and die. If she chooses death now, she will never have to make another wish. Hearing those words leaves Yeon completely heartbroken. She begs him to stop this cruel test. With a snap of his fingers, everything returns to the present. Overwhelmed with anger, Yeon suddenly slaps Kim across the face and accuses him of treating her life like a game. Kim calmly replies that this is simply her fate, and no matter how hard she tries, she can never escape it. From the very next day, Yeon begins to miss him without even realizing it. Until now, he had followed her everywhere, but suddenly he has disappeared. Later, at the office, she realizes that people who know they are about to die usually travel the world, spend their savings, and make happy memories with loved ones. Sadly, she has none of those things. She keeps wondering how to spend her final 3 months. While looking through her diary, she realizes she will never be able to write another page, leaving her sitting there in silence. A little later, she visits a photo studio to have her picture taken with the brightest smile she can. While posing, Kim suddenly appears and starts suggesting funny poses. However, we soon learn the real reason behind the photo. Yeon is taking it so people can place a flower wreath around it at her funeral. After leaving the studio, Yeon and Kim walk back toward her house together. When they arrive, they find Yeon's ex-boyfriend waiting outside. He falls to his knees, apologizes, and begs for another chance, claiming everything he said at the office was a lie. Yeon repeatedly tells him to leave, but he refuses. Finally, Kim grabs him by the collar and tells Yeon, "Go inside, I'll deal with him, honey." Yeon stares at him in shock. Kim continues acting as if they are married. "I'm your husband. Go inside and have dinner. I even made your favorite cucumber soup, sweetheart." Completely embarrassed, Yeon asks what all this honey and sweetheart talk means. Just then, her younger brother arrives. Thinking the ex-boyfriend is bothering his sister again, he grabs a stick and chases him down the street. During the commotion, the framed funeral photo Yeon had just taken falls and shatters. She kneels to pick it up but accidentally cuts her hand. Seeing this, Kim gently heals her wound with his power and tells her he will always try to make sure she never has to feel pain. After saying that, he starts walking away. But Yeon stops him and quietly asks if they can forget about their contract and simply stay together forever. At that moment, we are shown a flashback to the day of Yeon's mother's funeral. Back then, Yeon and her younger brother were still little. Their relatives wanted to send them to an orphanage because no one wanted to raise them. Just when they had lost hope, Yeon's aunt stepped forward and declared that she would raise both children herself. From that day onward, she sacrificed her own life to become the only real family they had left. Back in the present, Yeon immediately regrets asking Kim to stay forever. She had spoken out of emotion, but he took her words seriously. As a result, he has completely moved into her house. When Yeon steps outside, she is stunned to see that Kim has somehow connected his enormous magical mansion to her tiny apartment. Speechless, she asks what he has done. Kim casually replies that he is simply staying in his own home. Curious, Yeon excitedly explores the mansion. She asks which bedroom he uses, but he calmly replies that he never sleeps, so he has never needed one. When she asks where she is supposed to sleep, he says there isn't any room for her. Not believing him, she starts opening every door. But strangely, every room already has Kim sitting inside it. Yeon becomes completely confused. A little later, she suddenly hears her younger brother calling her. She wonders how he entered the magical house, but Kim explains that her brother is actually standing inside her own house. If she doesn't believe him, she should check the rooftop. When she goes upstairs, she really does find her younger brother talking with their aunt. After chatting for a while, he asks where the handsome man has gone. Before Yeon can answer, he starts searching the house. Eventually, he opens one door and finds Kim relaxing inside. Soon afterward, the three of them sit together. Yeon's brother thinks Kim looks incredibly rich and can't understand why someone like him would date his poor sister. To discover his true intentions, he challenges him to a drinking contest. However, after several drinks, Yeon's brother is the one who gets completely drunk. Kim easily reads his mind and reveals every hidden thought, leaving him shocked. Instead of getting scared, he smiles and says that Kim has passed his test. He trusts him with his sister's happiness before leaving. Once he is gone, Kim tells Yeon that her younger brother seems to be the person she loves the most. Hearing that, she immediately warns him not to even think about hurting her brother. Later that night, before going to sleep, Yeon asks Kim to turn off the lights. He says he never sleeps because he is reading, but after noticing she can't sleep, he quietly switches them off and even tries sleeping beside her for the first time. The next morning, while eating breakfast, Yeon writes down the rules of their contract. First, she will eventually make the wish to destroy the world. Second, Kim must keep her free from the pain of her brain tumor. Third, if she refuses to make the wish, the person she loves the most will die instead. As she writes the third condition, she suddenly realizes something terrifying. If she refuses, her younger brother will die. But if she accepts, the entire world, including her brother, will still be destroyed. She can't believe she overlooked something so obvious. Kim calmly points out that her brother is also part of the world she wants to save. This realization leaves Yeon deeply troubled. Later, she can't even focus at work because she keeps thinking about the impossible choice. Suddenly, her laptop begins typing by itself. A message appears saying she accidentally left her gas stove on at home. Later, another message appears on an ATM screen, warning that her gas bill will become expensive if she doesn't hurry. Panicking, Yeon rushes home. When she arrives, the stove has already been turned off. Beside it is a note from Kim that says, "You can thank me later." Looking at the note, she wonders why he went through all that trouble just to get her attention. Just then, a coworker calls and tells her they need to attend a famous writer's grandfather's grandfather's funeral. At the funeral, Yeon accidentally bumps into the leader of the gods. The moment she sees her, she remembers seeing Kim at her parents' funeral years ago. While waiting at a bus stop, the leader notices the red string around Yeon's wrist and says it looks beautiful. At that moment, Kim appears and tells Yeon it's time to leave. She immediately tells him she remembers seeing him crying at her parents' funeral. Kim completely denies it, saying he never cries. Even the leader of the gods smiles at the accusation. Later, after returning home, Kim finally admits that someone who was like a mother to him died that day. The moment she hears this, Yeon keeps teasing him for crying. Later, even the leader of the gods jokes about it, making Kim even more annoyed. Meanwhile, Yeon is buried under work when a coworker hands her another huge stack of documents. She decides to complain to the CEO, but when she enters the office, she is surprised to find Kim sitting there. She blames him for her extra work and tells him to help finish it. Kim says he doesn't know how to type. Yeon reminds him that he secretly typed messages on her laptop before, and jokingly asks where his magical skills disappeared. A little later, she tells him that meeting the woman at the bus stop brought back all her memories of the funeral. After hearing this, Kim goes to meet the leader of the gods. He asks if she intentionally helped Yeon recover those memories. The leader simply smiles and tells him that his feelings for Yeon are growing stronger every day. She says he can't bear to see her suffer anymore and will never be able to let her die. Kim immediately denies it, insisting that her death is already written in fate. The leader simply repeats that he has fallen for her. Those words make Kim furious, and he immediately returns home. As soon as he sees Yeon, he tells her the red string is about to lose its power, but this time he refuses to recharge it. Instead, he demands that she confirm her wish to destroy the world. Yeon has no idea why he is suddenly acting so cold. A few moments later, the pain from her brain tumor suddenly returns. She collapses onto the floor, screaming in agony. She desperately begs him to hold her hand and recharge the red string, but instead of helping, he refuses until she confirms her wish. However, even while suffering unbearable pain, Yeon refuses to make the wish. Seeing her in so much pain, Kim's heart finally softens. Unable to watch any longer, he grabs her hand and recharges the red string, making the pain disappear. Afterward, he warns that he will make her life so miserable that she will eventually beg for the destruction of the world. Yeon smiles and tells him that since he has revealed his plan, it's now time for him to see hers. The moment she says that, she suddenly jumps off the rooftop. Shocked, Kim instantly saves her before she hits the ground. He angrily asks if she has lost her mind. Yeon calmly replies that she already knew he would never let her die because if she dies now, he can never fulfill the contract. She then reveals her new plan. He realizes that almost everyone is secretly cursing someone else. Seeing how selfish humans truly are, he concludes that they don't deserve his kindness. While thinking about this, a woman tells him that people should do good deeds for a better next life. Kim calmly replies that there is no next life. If people want to do good, they should do it in this one. Meanwhile, Yeon searches the internet for how to fall in love. Nothing helps until she finds her friend Jina's romance novel, 100 Ways to Fall in Love. She immediately goes to meet Jina. Yeon tells her that she wants to fall in love with someone, but refuses to reveal who it is until 3 months have passed. Jina advises her to look at that person's picture every night before sleeping. If he begins appearing in her dreams, it means she has truly fallen in love. Hearing this, Yeon feels she has found the perfect plan. Later, while walking home, Kim joins her. He tells her that after reading people's minds all day, he realized everyone loves themselves the most. Because of that, he wants Yeon to love him even more than herself, so she would give up everything for him. Before going to bed, Yeon tells Kim that tonight he has to appear in her dream. That night, they meet inside her dream. She takes him to all of her favorite places, trying every fall in love trick she found online, but nothing works. Frustrated, she asks Kim to take her inside his own mind. There, Yeon discovers a lonely world where everything Kim touches is destroyed, leaving only emptiness. Seeing this heartbreaking place leaves her speechless. As she slowly walks toward him, the dead garden suddenly begins blooming with flowers again. Yeon reaches out to hold his hand, but before she can touch him, Kim pulls away and returns them to reality. The next morning, Yeon jokingly tells him that she has decided to forgive him because of last night's dream. When he asks why, she smiles and says her qualification is simple. She wants to fall in love with him. Later, Kim tells the leader of the gods everything that happened. She simply says that no matter how hard he tries, he can no longer ignore Yeon. Meanwhile, Yeon's younger brother asks her for money again. Annoyed, she scolds him and wonders how he will survive after she dies. Her words make him furious, and he storms away. Later, Kim keeps teasing Yeon until she angrily blurts out that she wishes he would die soon. He calmly replies that if death were possible for him, he would have died long ago. After saying that, he walks away, reminding himself that Yeon means nothing to him. Meanwhile, Yeon receives a call saying her younger brother has been injured. She rushes to the hospital. There, she overhears him telling a friend that faking the accident would help them get money from her. Hearing this completely breaks her heart. As her brother runs after her, Yeon's doctor tells him the truth about her brain tumor and how little time she has left. Meanwhile, outside the hospital, Yeon runs into Kim. The same criminal from earlier suddenly attacks him with a knife. Without thinking, Yeon jumps in front of him. Kim catches the knife with his bare hand, throws the criminal away, and then hypnotizes him into turning the knife on himself. Everyone nearby is left completely shocked. Yeon notices Kim's injured hand, but the wound heals right before her eyes. Instead of thanking her, Kim scolds her for risking her life. He reminds her that she recently wished for his death, so why did she save him? Yeon quietly admits that she doesn't know. She simply acted without thinking. Kim then erases everyone's memories of the incident. Later, Yeon's younger brother learns the truth about her illness. Unable to accept it, he asks Kim how long he has known. When Kim says he has known from the beginning, her brother once again entrusts his sister to him before leaving in tears. From that day on, he decides to become more responsible and quickly finds a part-time job. Meanwhile, Kim can't stop thinking about the knife incident. The leader of the gods appears and asks why he saved Yeon. He quietly replies that she was actually the one who saved him. Later, Kim asks Yeon why she protected him. She says she doesn't know, then tells him that if he wants to understand humans, he should spend time observing them. Instead of watching everyone, he starts observing only Yeon. From then on, he follows her everywhere, even to her office. Rather than quietly observing, he constantly teases her. He even asks her to put a bandage on a tiny stapler injury that heals instantly. While riding the bus home, Kim secretly uses his powers to get Yeon a seat after noticing how exhausted she looks. She happily sits down, touched by his kindness. Later, Kim takes Yeon to a beautiful beach she has always dreamed of visiting. The next day, he brings her to a traditional village festival, making her happy once again. That night, Yeon says she doesn't want to sleep there anymore because she keeps having strange dreams. Kim threatens to make his magical house disappear if she leaves, so she quietly goes to bed. The next day, Kim visits the leader of the gods again. He tells her that Yeon is strange because she actually wants him to like her. The leader laughs and says he isn't much different, adding that they make a surprisingly good pair. Meanwhile, Yeon discovers that her younger brother has secretly started working as a waiter. She tells him to quit, but he refuses, saying he wants to become a responsible younger brother. That night, Kim waits to walk Yeon home. He admits that she has become someone very special to him and says he simply wants her to stay happy. The next day, Yeon takes her younger brother to the hospital because she worries he may have inherited her illness. When Kim arrives, the doctor mistakes him for her younger brother, then jokes that he must be her boyfriend. Later, her brother takes a selfie with them. Looking at the photo, Yeon is shocked because Kim's face looks completely different. She finally realizes that everyone sees him differently, while she alone can see his true appearance. The next day, Yeon goes on a blind date arranged by her friend. However, Kim secretly follows her. The moment he sees her with another man, he becomes jealous. Unable to control himself, he makes both the blind date and Yeon's friend lose consciousness before taking Yeon away. As they walk home, it starts raining. Instead of stopping the rain, Kim grabs her hand and runs through it with her. By the time they reach home, Yeon is completely drenched. She complains that he could have stopped the rain. Kim smiles and says it wouldn't have been nearly as fun. Standing together, Yeon suddenly asks him if he could try liking her. At first, Kim refuses, but after looking at her for a moment, he finally agrees. Later, the leader of the gods quietly says that whenever a system develops a problem, it should either be reset or replaced. Although Kim agrees to date Yeon, he immediately questions his decision and decides getting closer to her is a mistake. Without another word, he disappears. Yeon rushes home only to find that his magical house has disappeared too. Realizing he has completely left, she is heartbroken. Meanwhile, the leader of the gods shows Kim memories of Yeon's painful past. She reveals that her parents died because of him, and even her brain tumor exists because of the destruction that follows him. Realizing her suffering is connected to him, Kim is overcome with guilt. The leader warns that if he stays with Yeon, she will only suffer more, and the two of them can never truly be together. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, Yeon sadly thinks about how everyone she has ever loved eventually leaves her. Just then, she spots Kim and runs toward him. However, the pain from her brain tumor suddenly returns because the red string has weakened. Seeing her suffer, Kim silently holds her hand and recharges it. Later, Yeon complains that he disappeared without saying anything. Kim calmly replies that they can never be together, so it is better to end everything now. His cold words leave her devastated. The story briefly shifts to Yeon's best friend and one of her coworkers, hinting that they are slowly falling in love. That night, Yeon has dinner with her coworkers. When her boss cruelly jokes about terminally ill patients, she finally snaps. He threatens to fire her. Instead, Yeon calmly reveals that she has a brain tumor and only 3 months left to live. Everyone is left speechless. Later, while crossing the street, she sadly remembers how Kim always helped her. She calls his name again and again, but he never appears. That night, she even threatens to jump from the rooftop if he doesn't come. Even then, he doesn't show himself. Feeling abandoned, she falls asleep. However, after she falls asleep, Kim quietly visits, recharges the red string, places a pillow under her head, and leaves without waking her. The next morning, Yeon realizes he came while she was sleeping. Out of frustration, she removes the red string, hoping he will come back. Instead, her condition worsens and she is rushed to the hospital. At the same time, the leader of the gods tells Kim to forget Yeon completely. Her words only make him angrier. After Yeon regains consciousness, she immediately leaves her hospital bed to search for him. The moment she finds Kim, she hugs him tightly. Kim tells her that all of her suffering exists because of him, and that as long as he stays beside her, the darkness around her will never disappear. Yeon smiles and says she isn't afraid of any darkness as long as he stays with her. The moment she says that, she suddenly disappears. Kim desperately searches for her before learning that the leader of the gods has taken her away. The leader warns Yeon to stay away from Kim because he will only bring her pain, but Yeon refuses to listen. In the end, the leader sends her back. The moment they meet again, both of them are genuinely happy. Just then, Yeon's younger brother arrives and is completely confused after seeing Kim's magical room connected to the house. Since he cannot understand the explanation, Kim simply puts him to sleep with his powers. That night, Kim asks the leader of the gods to leave Yeon alone. She agrees, hoping they can prove her wrong. Meanwhile, Yeon happily spends her day listening to BTS songs. The next day, while walking together, she says she loves cherry blossoms but probably won't live to see them bloom next year. Hearing this, Kim turns back time and takes her to cherry blossom season. The two spend a joyful day beneath the blooming trees. When they return home, Yeon discovers that her aunt has returned from Canada. Her aunt asks Kim why he is still there so late at night. Embarrassed, Yeon quickly pushes him outside before he can answer. Before going back inside, she secretly gives him her phone and tells him to call her later. Once inside, her aunt scolds her for hiding her illness. That night, Yeon and Kim talk on the phone for the first time. The following day, Kim appears dressed as a doctor and reassures her aunt that Yeon will recover. Relieved, her aunt even jokes that Yeon never mentioned her boyfriend was a doctor. Later, Yeon takes Kim shopping. Knowing she has little time left, she buys gifts for everyone she loves. They also take a beautiful photo together, which she immediately sets as her phone wallpaper. Although she smiles, she knows she is preparing for a future she may never see. Later, Kim visits the leader of the gods again. She refuses to let him inside because her own condition has become much worse. After leaving, Kim rushes to Yeon. Unable to hide his feelings any longer, he finally confesses that he loves her. With only a few days left to live, Yeon smiles and replies, "All right, then let's date." From the very next day, Yeon becomes shy whenever she looks at him. Kim keeps teasing her until she awkwardly runs away. Later, everyone gathers for dinner. While looking for something, Yeon's aunt accidentally finds the funeral photo Yeon prepared for after her death. She quietly bursts into tears. Yeon notices and starts crying too. A little later, they return to the table and pretend nothing happened. Only Kim understands their pain. That night, Yeon begins writing a bucket list of everything she wants to do before she dies. The following day, she visits the leader of the gods and thanks her for everything she has sacrificed to protect the world. The leader smiles and says she has waited her entire life to hear those words. Later, Kim becomes jealous when Yeon talks with a male coworker and quickly drags her away. After they leave, the coworkers argue over whether Kim looked young or old, proving once again that everyone sees him differently. That night, Yeon celebrates Kim's birthday. Since no one has ever celebrated it before, she decides to celebrate every birthday he ever missed all at once. Little by little, Yeon completes every item on her bucket list. Only one remains. she has to break up with Kim. She tells him this is the only way to save both him and the world. Kim asks if she truly believes she can forget him. Yeon quietly replies that she can't promise that, but she will try. After saying those painful words, she walks away. Soon after, Yeon leaves her family and moves to a small house by the sea. She believes staying away will make it easier for everyone after she is gone. But even there, she cannot stop thinking about them. Just then, Kim appears. He gently tells her that she always hides her pain and asks what she truly wants. Hearing those words, Yeon finally breaks down. She admits that she wants to keep living with the people she loves. She doesn't want to die. Kim comforts her and promises that he will never let her die. From the next day onward, the two happily spend their remaining time together by the sea. One day, Yeon is surprised to discover that Kim secretly invited her entire family there. Seeing everyone together makes her happier than ever. That night, her aunt sincerely thanks Kim for bringing the family together. Meanwhile, the leader of the gods' condition continues to worsen. Both Kim and Yeon visit her in the hospital. On the way back, Kim explains that she is trapped in an endless cycle of being born, dying, and being reborn for humanity. Meanwhile, Yeon's aunt visits the hospital to thank the doctor who reassured her earlier. However, the receptionist tells her that no doctor with that name has ever worked there. She is completely shocked. Not long afterward, Yeon receives a call saying her aunt has been admitted to the hospital. When she arrives, her aunt tearfully confronts her, demanding to know why she lied. Unable to hide the truth any longer, Yeon finally admits that she is going to die soon. Hearing those words completely devastates her aunt. Later, after leaving the hospital room, Yeon meets the leader of the gods. Feeling completely helpless, she asks for help. She admits that as time passes, everything is becoming harder, and she can no longer handle the pain. The leader gently tells her that she cannot change Yeon's fate because her death is already written. However, she can change the fate connecting Yeon and Kim. She offers to erase every memory they have of each other. After that, Yeon can continue living like a normal person and receive proper medical treatment. The leader asks her to make a decision soon because she doesn't have much time left herself. Yeon is left speechless, unable to decide. Meanwhile, Kim visits a dangerous criminal who is preparing to set a house on fire. The man has already murdered several people. Looking at him, Kim says that he has told the leader of the gods many times that people like him should simply disappear from the world, but she never agrees. After saying that, Kim kills the criminal by forcing him to drink rat poison. Sometime later, we see Yeon visiting her doctor. She says that she has decided to begin treatment for her brain tumor starting the next day. She also mentions that she cannot remember anything that happened over the past few months and assumes it must be a side effect of her illness. At that moment, we realize that the leader of the gods has erased all of the memories between Yeon and Kim. Both of them have completely forgotten each other. As Yeon leaves the hospital, she accidentally bumps into Kim. She looks at him for a moment and quietly thinks to herself, "What a handsome guy." Just then, Kim smiles and replies, "I know I'm handsome, but I don't have time for this right now." At that moment, the same strange feeling from before returns, as if the two of them have already experienced this meeting once in the past. The next day, Yeon is admitted to the hospital to begin treatment for her brain tumor. That night, while standing alone on the hospital rooftop, Kim suddenly appears beside her. He tells her that she is going to die in just 1 month anyway, so there is no reason to commit suicide now. Yeon immediately tells him that she isn't there to end her life. She says she was simply thinking that maybe it would be better if the entire world disappeared. Hearing those words makes Kim smile. He says he likes the way she thinks and wants to offer her a contract. However, instead of feeling interested, Yeon becomes nervous. She says that talking to someone as strange as him is making her uncomfortable, so she'd rather leave. Before she can walk away, Kim instantly teleports both of them to the beach. Completely shocked, Yeon asks whether he is a ghost or some kind of supernatural being. Kim calmly reveals that he is the god of destruction. Then, he offers her a contract. All she has to do is make one wish before she dies, the wish for the world to be destroyed. But without even thinking twice, Yeon rejects his offer. Right after that, Kim accidentally touches her hand. The moment they make contact, both of them suddenly feel an unexplained sense of peace. Kim even notices tears rolling down his face on their own, while Yeon experiences the exact same thing. Neither of them can understand why this is happening. Meanwhile, Kim becomes desperate for answers and goes to the chief goddess. He asks what kind of relationship he has with that girl and why he can't remember anything about her. The chief goddess tells him that she never did anything to him. Instead, she altered Yeon's memories. However, She admits that things have now reached a point where even she may not be able to fix everything. On the other hand, Yeon also can't stop thinking about Kim. While checking the contacts on her phone, she discovers an unknown number. Out of curiosity, she calls it, and surprisingly, the call reaches Kim. At that exact moment, she sees him standing right in front of her. Both of them are completely confused and begin wondering what kind of connection they actually have. Then we see the two of them sitting together at a cafe. Kim asks whether the chief goddess did something to her, but Yeon honestly replies that she doesn't even know who the chief goddess is. While talking, she keeps trying to call that mysterious number again, but no one answers. Seeing this, Kim sarcastically says he has no idea why humans use smartphones if they never bother answering them. Later, when Kim returns home, he notices a phone lying there. After turning it on, he sees 2 missed calls from Yeon. When he unlocks the phone, he is stunned to find a wallpaper showing both him and Yeon together. He has no idea where the phone came from or who set that wallpaper, making him even more confused. In the next scene, Kim meets the chief goddess again and demands to know the truth about Yeon, but once again she refuses to answer. Frustrated, he tells her that if she won't explain anything, he will uncover the truth himself. Meanwhile, Yeon is sitting in her hospital room watching the drama Hotel de Luna. She hopes that by watching a drama about ghosts, she might understand what Kim really is. Just then, Kim suddenly appears in the disguise of a doctor. The moment Yeon sees him, she starts shouting, asking what he is doing there. Her aunt becomes embarrassed and asks why she is behaving so rudely toward the doctor. Playing along, Kim says it seems like the patient has some problems with her head. Then, pretending to perform a medical examination, he deliberately teases and annoys Yeon the entire time. A little later, all of Yeon's coworkers come to the hospital to visit her and cheer her up. That night, while sleeping, Yeon dreams about her own funeral. In the dream, she sees Kim sitting beside her photograph, crying uncontrollably. She walks up to him and tells him not to cry because even she isn't crying at her own funeral, so why should he? Suddenly, Yeon wakes up and realizes she is no longer in the hospital. Instead, she finds herself inside Kim's house. Completely confused, she asks how she got there. Kim explains that he brought her there directly from her dream, meaning her real body is still asleep in the hospital. Yeon then tells him about the dream she just had, where she saw him crying at her funeral. Kim immediately denies it, saying that the god of destruction never cries. After that, he asks Yeon to smile, hoping that seeing her smile might help him recover the memories he has lost. But even after looking at her beautiful smile, he still remembers nothing. Then we are taken inside Kim's mind, where everything appears in black and white. Yeon tells him that he should always think about happy things, because only then will his life become colorful. As she says this, she gives him a bright, heartfelt smile. The moment he sees that smile, all of Kim's memories instantly come rushing back. At almost the same time, Yeon wakes up in the hospital and checks her diary. As she reads everything written about herself and Kim, all of her memories also return. Without wasting a second, she rushes straight to Kim's house, where he is already waiting for her. Through tears, she asks how he could possibly forget her. Kim replies by asking why she made a deal with the chief goddess without telling him first. Unable to hold back their emotions any longer, the two embrace each other tightly and burst into tears. In the following scene, Yeon and Kim visit her aunt together. This time, everyone can finally recognize Kim again. Then, without any warning, Kim announces that he wants to marry Yeon. His sudden proposal leaves Yeon completely speechless. After hearing the news, Yeon's younger brother comes to meet Kim. He hands over all the money he has saved, hoping the two of them can have a beautiful wedding together. However, in the final scene, we see Kim sitting alone with a heartbreaking expression. He has secretly decided that the only way to save Yeon is to sacrifice his own life. Even though he has made up his mind, the thought of leaving the woman he loves behind is something his heart simply cannot accept. A little later, Kim gives Yeon a bouquet of flowers. He tells her that the person who gave him these flowers will disappear today, and the person receiving them will disappear tomorrow. This may sound a little confusing. The flowers were actually given to Kim by the chief goddess, because she was destined to disappear that very day. Meanwhile, Kim had already decided that he would disappear the following day after sacrificing himself to save Yeon. In the next scene, Kim goes to meet the chief goddess one last time to say goodbye. She tells him that he should never have made a contract with Yeon in the first place, but Kim firmly replies that no matter what happens, he will save her. Hearing his determination, the chief goddess says that she wants to remain in this world for just a little longer. So, for the very first time, she breaks her own rules and extends her remaining life by one more day. Because of that, Kim Kim also gets one extra day before he disappears. The following day, Kim spends every possible moment with Yeon. The two of them go out together, visit different places, and cherish every second because they both know this is their final day together. That night, after returning home, Kim quietly says goodbye to her. The moment Yeon hears those words, she breaks down in tears and asks why he is talking like this. Kim gently tells her that he wants her to stay happy for the rest of her life, but Yeon refuses. She says she doesn't want to be happy without him. All she wants is for him to stay by her side forever. As she cries, Kim softly places his hand on her cheek. Then, right before her eyes, his body slowly begins to disappear until he completely vanishes. Watching the man she loves sacrifice himself just to save her leaves Yeon heartbroken. Then we see a time skip of 3 months. Yeon's doctor is shocked while looking at her latest medical reports. Her brain tumor has completely disappeared, something he never thought was medically possible. According to him, it is nothing short of a miracle. Although Yeon always tries to smile in front of everyone, she can never truly forget Kim. Whenever she is alone, she constantly thinks about him. She even sends text messages to his phone, and then replies to those same messages herself from his old phone, simply to feel as if he is still with her. One day, while returning home from work, she unexpectedly meets the chief goddess at a bus stop. This means the chief goddess has returned once again. She smiles at Yeon and tells her that she handled everything remarkably well before quietly walking away. In the next scene, we see the chief goddess standing in her beautiful garden, happily looking at a blooming flower. Suddenly, Kim appears there. The first thing he asks is how Yeon has been doing. The chief goddess tells him that Yeon has not been happy at all without him. She then reveals that although he died as the god of destruction, she has decided to send him back to Earth as an ordinary human being. From now on, instead of being a god, he will live as a normal man and take good care of Yeon. Hearing this leaves Kim completely speechless. Before sending him back, the chief goddess hands him an umbrella. In the next moment, he returns to Earth. Meanwhile, it is raining, and Yeon is riding a bus home. When the bus suddenly breaks, she almost falls. Just then, someone grabs her hand to stop her. When she looks up, she is completely stunned. Standing right in front of her is Kim. For a moment, Yeon believes she must be dreaming, but Kim simply smiles and asks, "Do you need an umbrella?" In the following scene, the two of them are back at home together. Yeon asks where he has been all this time. Kim explains that he stayed in the chief goddess's garden, where she gave him the chance to be reborn as a human. Hearing this makes Yeon emotional. She says she feels sorry because this is his very first day as a human, yet she doesn't even have enough food at home to properly welcome him. From the very next day, Yeon refuses to leave Kim alone for even a moment. She worries about him so much that she even takes him to her office. Seeing this, her CEO tells her that she needs to keep her personal life and professional life separate. He jokingly asks whether her boyfriend is a little child since she brings him everywhere. Yeon laughs and replies that he would get bored if he stayed home alone, so she brought him along. After hearing the CEO's comment, Kim casually says that if she doesn't like her boss, he can kill him for her. Yeon immediately reminds him that he isn't the god of destruction anymore, so he should never think about killing anyone again. Later, while the two are walking home, Yeon's younger brother spots Kim and becomes extremely happy to see him. Yeon is surprised because everyone else's memories had changed. She asks her brother how he recognized Kim and whether he doesn't look different. Her brother replies that Kim looks exactly the same as always. He even shows her an old photo on his phone where Kim appears in his original form. After seeing the picture, Kim realizes that the chief goddess truly fixed everything before leaving. She restored everyone's memories and made sure their lives could continue peacefully. Meanwhile, Yeon's best friend and her CEO officially start dating each other. In the next scene, we see Yeon's entire family happily gathered together. Everyone is finally living in peace, grateful for the beautiful family they have. That night, while Yeon is sleeping, the chief goddess appears in her dream wearing a school uniform. She asks Yeon how she looks. Yeon smiles and tells her that the uniform suits her perfectly. The chief goddess then explains that she had planned everything from the very beginning. She wanted Yeon to go through all the pain and hardships, because if she had received the most precious thing in her life without any struggle, she would never have truly understood its value. She smiles one last time and tells Yeon that she hopes she will live a long and happy life from now on. Finally, one peaceful night, Yeon and Kim are standing together outside their home when they see a shooting star crossing the sky. They both silently make a wish. Afterward, Yeon asks Kim what he wished for. Smiling warmly, he answers that he wished they could get married as soon as possible. And with that beautiful and heartwarming moment, the drama comes to a perfect, happy ending.